noisy child. Please exit the theater until they are quiet. There will be no intermission during tonight's 70-minute performance.
Thank you for supporting Oberon Theater. Now sit back, relax, and pay close attention as we try and solve the mystery of murder on the 518.
Dun, dun, dun!
All aboard! West Coast 518, bound for Los Angeles, with departure in 15 minutes on platform 2. All aboard!
I can't believe this day has finally arrived. The day that I get to go on my honeymoon to Los Angeles with the love of my life. Can you believe we've already been married for 3 whole weeks, Caleb?
It feels like only yesterday that my beautiful bride became my beautiful wife. I can't wait to spend the next 10 days exploring Los Angeles with you, Rachel.
Walking along the beach?
Visiting all the museums?
Going on all the rides at Disneyland?
Seeing all the stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this trip every minute of every day since our wedding. I don't want anything to spoil our wonderful honeymoon together.
Well, you better hurry up and get our tickets. We don't want to miss the train. Elliot entered the train station. The platform was brightly lit against the dimming light of the waning day. People were moving to and fro, hustling and bustling to reach their destinations. Elliot approached the ticket counter, eager to begin his own journey.
May I help you, sir?
As Elliot approached the counter, the young ticket seller asked, "May I help you, sir?" Elliot replied, "Why, yes, 1 ticket to Los Angeles, please."
Sir, are you saying that you would like to purchase a ticket to Los Angeles?
Elliot sighed in frustration at the young ticket seller who didn't seem to understand his simple request to purchase a ticket to Los Angeles. It was imperative that Elliot get to Los Angeles the next day to meet with his publisher and present his latest collection of short stories.
Sir, if I could have your attention for one moment, I'm not sure I understand.
Yes, I need to get a ticket to Los Angeles. I just said that.
My apologies, sir. I was not certain if you were speaking to me or speaking to, your notepad.
As a writer, I need to be constantly aware of my surroundings and record every detail so that I can incorporate it into my work. Even everyday conversations and interactions can find their way in the written world.
I see. Well, here's your ticket. Enjoy your trip to Los Angeles, sir.
With a ticket finally in hand, Elliot made his way to the boarding platform as the warm evening wind swirled about.
How can I help you, sir?
1 for Los Angeles!
Yes, sir. And will you be keeping your sports equipment with you, or would you like to check a bag?
My equipment goes where I go. You never know when the opportunity to use it will arise. Need to be prepared.
I don't think there will be an opportunity to play basketball on the train, sir.
I didn't become Mike Humbard, top sports guru in the Western Conference. That type of attitude.
Excuse me. I think that the pursuit of knowledge should be held in more esteem than the pursuit of basketball championships, especially at a university. I hope the students you recruit understand the importance of receiving an education and do not think the entirety of their college experience should be spent in a gymnasium seeking the approval of mindless sports fans.
How dare you talk about sports that way? Just about teamwork, physical fitness, critical thinking, and so much more. Just who do you think you are?
Professor Holly Barnes, University of Utah, Department of Physics and Astronomy. While you spend your time recruiting people to run around a basketball court in circles, I spend my time researching the night sky.
Isn't it a little bright in Los Angeles to be researching the night sky?
For your information, I'm going to the city to give a presentation on the Perseids at the Griffith Observatory. The meteor shower was particularly spectacular this August due to the setting of the waxing crescent moon.
And you say I'm the crazy one? We're not speaking gibberish, nerd.
Neanderthal. We can help the next 2 customers, please.
Good evening. 1 for Los Angeles, please.
I'm heading to Los Angeles too. 1 for Los Angeles, please. I'm Abby Wells.
Dr. Lauren Maloney, it's nice to meet you.
You're a doctor? You know, I'm studying medicine, well, veterinary medicine. I'm heading to Los Angeles to get experience as an aquatic vet tech. It's a little hard to work with marine life in Utah.
Well, that's nice of you to say, but I'm an emergency room physician, not a veterinarian, so I don't think I'll be able to help you very much with your marine studies.
Yoo-hoo! You know, but so much medicine can be applied across disciplines. I read that right here in the Introduction to Marine Studies book. I think they were talking about animal studies, but humans are mammals, right?
Listen, I do love my job, but everyone needs some time off. Wouldn't you agree? I'm spending my time off visiting some family in Los Angeles, and truly, work is the last thing I'd want to think about while I'm here. It was nice meeting you, though.
Next two customers, please.
Hey there, one for the city of sunshine and flowers, friend.
I'm sorry, where, sir?
The city of angels. The big orange. La La Land.
I'm afraid I still don't understand, sir.
He means Los Angeles. Can you please stop that tapping? I've been reading the same paragraphs over and over since we're online, because I can't concentrate with all the racket. I also need a ticket to Los Angeles, please.
Come on, my newspaper reading friend. Why so serious? What is it that's taking you to the coast?
I am not your friend. I am Owen Casey, private investigator. I was reading an article about bank fraud, but you seem intent on stopping that from happening. And of course we're on the same train.
Private investigator, huh? That sounds pretty exciting, friend. Music can be exciting too. Probably in a different way.
Definitely in a different way. Since you're gonna tell me anyhow, what takes you to Los Angeles? Peace and love?
I'm gonna be a musical sensation, friend. This guitar's my ticket to the good life. I'm off to the coast to play my way to the top of show business. It won't be long before you see the name Nelson Henry in that newspaper there, friend.
I am not your friend. And could you please stop that racket?
Next customers, please.
It just doesn't make any sense, Jennifer. You can't base the success of a restaurant on desserts alone. It's not a bakery. It's not a cafe. It's a restaurant. The main entrees are going to be a feature.
You're not even listening to me, Derek. That's not what I said at all. The restaurant won't survive if we build it out to just be another seafood place in Los Angeles. We have to have the extra piece of flair that draws people in, and that flair is one of my desserts.
Ugh, spoken like a true pastry chef, making yourself the center of attention. Well, I'm the executive chef, and the owners told me I could take the restaurant in any direction I want, and they hired us to be the new chef team.
Exactly, chef team, as in the both of us, not the Chef Derek show.
Excuse me, but do you need to purchase tickets? We need to keep this line moving forward, please.
Sorry for the uphold. My husband here seems to think he's the center of attention, both in and out of the kitchen. 2 for Los Angeles, please.
Jennifer, if you want to get this restaurant off the ground, you might want to realize that I deserve to be the center of attention in the kitchen.
Are you serious? What part of the word team seems to be confusing you?
Next customers, please.
This place is disgusting.
Just look around. It's too hot. The train is making smoke. And is that sand blowing around on the floor? This is not a place I should be expected to set foot in.
Isabella, we've been over this. We have to take the train to Los Angeles as part of your next movie, Sunset on the Rails. West Coast Railways is a company providing the trains for the film, and they said they won't have their name appearing in the movie unless you're seen actually riding one of their passenger trains for publicity. It's in your contract.
Well, Lucy, I have no idea why you agreed to that. You're supposed to be looking out for my interests. And this is not something a movie star would be interested in.
I'm your assistant, Isabella, not your agent. He's the one who agreed to this. Besides, I'm sure it won't be as bad as you're making it out to be. Excuse me, miss, but those women are a mile before you. Please step to this side.
Do you know who I am? I am Isabella Madison, star of the movie One More Day, which is currently the top-grossing film in Iceland, Greenland, and Norway. I don't step aside, and I certainly don't wait in lines with people. People wait in lines for me.
That's ridiculous. Just because you're a movie star doesn't mean you can just cut in front of people in line.
It's fine, take care of them. We can wait.
We will get to the counter in just a minute.
She can't just get her own way because she made some foreign film no one's ever even heard of. You deserve more respect than she does. She should wait behind you. You're the CEO of Salt Lake Pharmaceuticals.
Yes, Jillian, and you are my assistant. And as the CEO, I'm telling you not to worry about it.
I don't care if the only sleeper cars you have left house 2 people. I demand my own. And when is dinner? I am just famished from this whole ordeal.
Dinner will be served tonight at 7 o'clock in the dining car, and breakfast will be served tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
The food on this train had better be prepared by competent chefs. The last thing I need on this venture is substandard cuisine. And I'd best have my own table in the dining car. I absolutely will not have my meals be disturbed by whatever other nonsensical people are on this ridiculous train trip.
I apologize for the inconvenience, ladies. Thank you for your patience. Where are you headed?
No problem. It wasn't your fault. 2 tickets for Los Angeles, please.
Certainly. And would you like to check any of your bags?
Oh, no, thank you. We have a meeting with Sunset Pharmaceuticals as soon as we arrive, and we don't want to have to wait for any of the baggage to be unloaded.
I still don't understand why we can't just fly there, Miss Millen. We could have arrived tonight and had plenty of time to get ready for your presentation. Or, should I say, get ready for your takeover. This will be the 3rd company that Salt Lake Pharmaceuticals has acquired this year.
You know we can't take our pharmaceuticals on the plane. I will always worry that the change in air pressure will ruin them, and the presentation will fall flat. This is a big acquisition for us, Jillian, and we can't have anything go wrong.
Of course, Miss Millen, you're right, as always.
All aboard! West Coast 518 is leaving in 5 minutes. All aboard!
I need 1 ticket for the 518, please.
The train to Los Angeles, sir?
It doesn't matter where it's going. All that matters is that Isabella Madison is on it.
Forgive me, sir. Why must you be on the train with her?
Because I'm Sydney Bennett, paparazzo extraordinaire. I heard she had to write a train for a new contract, so I followed her to Salt Lake City on her movie tour. I've been sitting in the station for 2 days waiting for her to show up.
We're well aware.
My patience has paid off, because I watched every person board this train, and no one else is here on the assignment. Photos of Isabella Madison throwing her tantrums on the train are going to skyrocket me to the top.
West Coast 518 is now departing.
The dining car could be best described as quaint. The forward tables, each adorned in modest drapery, stood anxiously awaiting the arrival of their occupants, eager to fulfill their purpose. The waitstaff members moved about excitedly, seeing to their activities.
Excuse me, sir. The dining car has assigned seating. May I see your ticket, please?
Elliot was startled by the arrival of the stewardess. He had also not realized that he'd need to bring his ticket to dinner with him, and was frightfully unprepared for the conversational exchange.
Of course. We posted a seating chart, but you seem to have arrived early.
I like to be the first to arrive in group settings. It gives me the opportunity to make as many observations for my short stories. I'm Elliot Williams, writer, Seaman Cabin 14.
Ah, yes, Mr. Williams. It turns out you are sitting here. Would you like anything else to drink?
Elliot was pleased with the good fortune of selecting the table at which he was supposed to sit. As he desired no other beverage than the water already provided, the remaining waitstaff returned to the kitchen.
And it says right here that working on a beach rescue can be just as taxing as working in an emergency room. I told you there is so much you can teach me.
Yes, I do imagine that rescuing an injured sea creature on the beach can be a very stressful situation. But as I said before, I would really prefer to leave work off the train. I would just like to enjoy my travel in peace. Okay, cabin 6, table 2.
Oh my goodness! I'm at table 2 with you. I'm gonna have the best time on this trip.
At least one of us will.
I truly hope you're not planning on entertaining the diners with that instrument. Some of us actually came to the dining car to dine.
You never know when inspiration will strike, friend. And some people find that listening to music while dining can be a very enjoyable experience.
That's true. I've been trying to convince my husband that adding tasteful live music in the restaurant could be a huge draw for patrons. I think it would help separate his bar from other restaurants in the area, but he's convinced that adding live music would detract from the atmosphere.
Is your husband on this train, friend? I would love to have a talk with him about the benefits of music and eating.
He was supposed to be meeting me here. He ran off as soon as we got on board to go who knows where, but I'm not going to stand around and wait for him. He can just meet me at a table. It was nice meeting you.
Nelson Henry, musical sensation. I'll keep my eye open for your husband, friend. Maybe we can convince him that music is the key to success.
The same train and now the same table? What does the guy have to do to get a break around here?
Come on now, friend. We're gonna have a great time together on this journey. You need to give our relationship a chance.
Why is that exactly?
You never know when you might need a friend. In fact, I know a song about that.
Please, don't.
Well, perhaps my writing friend will enjoy a nice dinner tune. I was just saying how much music can enhance the dining experience.
Elliot winced at the prospect of the guitar-wielding man at his dinner table, regaling him in song. However, he decided to give in, as arguing would only likely delay the song's inevitable arrival.
Come on now, friends. Why so serious?
We are not your friends. Do you even know what the word serious even means? How do you expect to launch your music career with being this passive?
I think you misunderstand me, friends. I am very serious about my music. But where would I get if I'm as uptight as you, not even willing to make a friend? Or always having my face in a notepad? I want to enjoy the journey.
While you may want to enjoy the journey, I want to record the journey. As a writer, I need a great deal of material to create and work from. And recording day-to-day activities help provide some of that material.
You know, in some ways, being a private investigator is just like that. Like in this big fraud case I was just investigating. This game was complex. There was a lot of moving characters in the game. If I hadn't been paying attention to my surroundings, I never would have realized it was the security guard laying the bombs out the front door.
Okay, serious friends. No dinner music. Perhaps I can channel some of the serious energy at the table to write a serious song. Can I borrow a piece of paper, writer friend?
He is not your friend. Neither of us are friends.
Our first honeymoon meal, darling. And look, we're at table 1.
And we're in cabin 1. It must be because we boarded the train first.
I think it's because I'm your number 1 and you're my number 1.
Oh my goodness, you guys must be on your honeymoon. Nobody's been married longer than a week except for 2 of you.
We are on our honeymoon, but we've been married for 3 weeks, and we love each other as much as ever.
Are you married?
Yes, I am, though I seem to be flying solo at the moment. Where on earth is Derek? Dinner will be soon, because I'm just going to have to order for him.
I'm sure your case of samples would have been just fine in your cabin, Miss Miller. After all, the cabin door locks, and the case has a lock on it too. And you're the only one who has a key to the case.
You're probably right, but as I said before, this acquisition is just too important to leave anything to chance. No samples, no presentation, no acquisition. I'll just slip it under the table where it won't bother anyone while we eat, and I'll feel much better.
That's a very nice camera you have there. Are you a professional photographer? I'm sure you can get some lovely shots of the scenery while we travel.
Of sorts, but the only thing I want to photograph is right here on the train with us.
I recognize you from the train station. Why were you just sitting right if you had the train to catch?
Can you please keep it down? I am here to photograph Isabel Madison. You know, the movie star? Need to sit down before she gets here and sees me.
Paparazzo, hey, those people cause all sorts of trouble for the athletes. They should just leave in one piece.
It seems to me that if people don't want the attention of the media, then perhaps they should choose careers that are less high profile.
Another crack at athletes. Just because no one's interested in what you do doesn't make what we do any less important.
I believe I said people, in general. You are the one who brought up athletes. You're completely insufferable.
Didn't I see you two arguing earlier? What is going on?
We're just having a bit of a disagreement about academics. I feel that the pursuit of knowledge is the most noble endeavor. Coach here does not.
You know, I never actually said that studying wasn't important.
Yes, you did, at the ticket counter.
Nope. I said I was a sports recruiter, and you started writing about how dumb sports are. I never even got a word in edgewise. I went to college on a sports scholarship, you know, to study. I never would have made it to college without that scholarship.
And what is your degree? A bachelor's in being loud and obnoxious?
You know, being physically and mentally fit is important for people. It's important for marine life, too. I read here that some species of marine life play games with each other, and some are even smart enough to create tools for themselves. Isn't that neat?
I have to agree with Abby here. As doctors, we frequently tell patients that physical and mental acuity are both very important. I see a lot of people in the emergency room who could have prevented injury by either being in better shape or by using their minds to avoid the injury-causing situation in the first place.
See, the good doctor here says you need to use your mind when engaging in physical activity.
Yeah, I'm sure that looking up the sky while you run will really help avoid injury.
And there you go again. What on earth were you doing in the kitchen?
I'm a chef, aren't I? I'm doing marketing research for a restaurant.
In the kitchen of a train?
You have to be more open-minded, Jennifer. You never know what you can learn from new situations.
Says the man who shut down every single one of my ideas. This is what I think about marriage. See what I have to deal with?
Don't listen to her. We're just a little bit on edge because of this new restaurant we're opening.
Wow, you own a restaurant? That sounds cool. We don't own it. Not yet, anyway. The owner's one of those investment real estate types who bought the restaurant thinking it would be a breeze to run as some sort of side business for himself, but quickly found out that running a restaurant is really hard work, so he just had to look for decent people with experience.
The owner is letting us totally redesign everything, right down to the paint on the walls and the napkin colors. We're hoping that if this goes well, we might be able to buy the restaurant down the road.
Is it hard going to business with your spouse? I mean, me and Rachel love spending time together, but we go to 2 separate jobs during the day.
It's definitely been a challenge, and we've been fighting a lot lately.
You're right. Let's try to enjoy the restaurant. One night without talking about the restaurant, okay? We'll pick it up tomorrow morning.
Sounds good to me. So what sites are you guys planning to see on your honeymoon?
There you are, Isabella. Did you really have to change your outfit again? The one you wore before was just fine for dinner.
A movie star belongs to the public, Lucy. These people might have already seen me today. They expect me to change my outfit.
We need to get seated so dinner can be served. It's already after 7. I checked the chart. We're at table 3.
Lucy, who are these people sitting at my table?
I'm not sure, Isabella. The other people assigned to the table? What's the matter?
You may recall that when we purchased our tickets on this ill-conceived journey, I demanded my own dining table. I will not be forced to interact with these commoners.
Okay. With all due respect, Miss Madison, your tantrum is not necessary. I assure you that Jillian and I will be perfectly amicable dinner companions.
Really, this is the second time today you've treated us like this. We don't deserve it. No one here deserves to be talked down to and told they are commoners either.
Please, Miss Madison, as you can see, our dining car is filled to capacity. We would love to accommodate your every request, but unfortunately, we cannot make more tables appear. Now, won't you take a seat so we can serve the meal? Everyone is quite hungry.
Please, Isabella, it's fine. You don't even have to talk to them. Please, just have a seat.
Well, you would all better be prepared to give me everything I request on the remainder of this journey, or else none of you will be employed at the end of this trip. I am Isabella Madison, and I will be treated as such.
I cannot believe how she keeps treating you. If this is a pharmaceutical conference, you can make demands, like her. She has no idea who she's talking to.
Jillian, please. We can't always choose who we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. Now let's be the more mature people in the situation and be better for it. Let's sit down and try to enjoy our meal.
I don't think we were actually introduced. I'm Lucy Blake, Isabella's assistant. We are pleased to meet you.
A pleasure. Avery Mellon, CEO of Salt Lake Pharmaceuticals, and this is my assistant, Jillian Hill.
I've heard of that company. It is an honor to meet the CEO.
Miss Millen is the youngest CEO in the company's history and has grown the corporation more during her leadership than the last 3 CEOs combined.
Yes, thank you, Jillian. She makes it sound much more exciting than it really is, though. It's a challenge to grow a small company, and the only reason our current growth is happening is because of all the work others have put in before me.
Still, those are some impressive accomplishments. Did you study business?
Actually, she studied chemistry. Most of our top pharmaceuticals are based on Miss Millen's own chemical designs.
Again, thank you, Jillian. After the previous CEO retired, the board of directors thought it'd be a positive change having someone making the decisions who actually understands how the proxy cells work. I did end up doing some business studies though, but Jillian was a big help with the business side of things.
That's really interesting. I studied business management myself and would definitely not know anything about pharmaceuticals. So I see what the board of directors was thinking. It sounds like that decision is working well for them.
You studied business management to get bossed around by a demanding movie diva?
Jillian! No, it's okay. I get that question a lot. Actually, Isabella and I were friends in high school and then went to the same college. When she started getting parts in commercials and guest TV appearances, she asked me to be her assistant because she knows nothing about business. And to be honest, I really needed a job. She didn't start to get like this until that movie of hers really took off. Working with Isabella is great for now, but one day I'd like to get into a different line of business.
I'm a doctor. Is everyone all right, or does anyone need medical attention?
What is the meaning of this? My dinner is completely ruined, and my clothing is soiled.
Our sincere apologies, Miss Madison. There must be a good reason why the train stopped. We'll find out right away.
I'm an investigator. Maybe I can help.
The passengers were each trying to make sense of the sudden events. I can't see anything. We're too far away from the front of the train. Someone should go out there and check it out.
I don't think that's a good idea, my sports playing friend. We should stay put until we hear what's going on.
That would be a solution, wouldn't it? Just use brute force. Climb out of the car and run headlong into a potentially dangerous situation.
And if it were up to you, we would sit here forever waiting for information. Take some action!
We've been here Listen, we went to the front of the train, and the conductor says that there was a rock slide on the tracks. There are people cleaning it up, so we should be on our way in no time.
Listen, guys, we greatly apologize for the inconvenience. If you'd all like to go back to your rooms, freshen up, and then return to the dining car, we can get this cleaned up and serve the meal again.
Okay, thank you.
Come on, Isabella. Let's go back to your room and change your outfit. Seriously? Isabella, it's fine. You brought lots of clothes. Isabella?
Miss Madison, everyone back up, give us some space. Are you taking pictures? Stop that. You, hand me that pitcher of water. You, give me those napkins. You, give me your coaties and blanket. And you, call 911. Okay, Lauren, I have supplies. How can I help?
There's nothing you can do.
Okay, and so I have lots of skills.
Abby, listen to me. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing I can do. She's dead.
I know. She was so young. And it wasn't like she was sick or anything.
Wow, nothing like someone dying to ruin the feel-good atmosphere of a dinner, friends.
Lucy, I'm so sorry. I know you said the two of you were friends for a long time.
It's like it's not even real. I just don't know how this happened. I was with her all day and she was totally fine. Even at dinner she seemed fine. And then all of a sudden she dies? I just don't understand.
Did she hit her head when the train stopped suddenly, or choke on what she was eating?
Doubt it. If something like that would have happened, she would have made a scene about it, and all of us would have known.
What is the matter with you all? A young woman drops dead and you make jokes about her?
I'm sure no one meant to make a joke. Right, everyone? Yeah. She just meant that she didn't mention feeling injured or getting sick at all.
There's no slow reception here. We must be too far into the mountains right now. I'm having no luck getting a call through the authorities. But the train personnel are trying to get a hold of someone on the radio and have asked me to take on the investigation in the meantime. Lauren, did you notice any injuries or any other clues about how she died? You're the medical expert here.
Actually, Abby and I were discussing that. I didn't notice any injuries of any type. I checked her airway and it was clear, so that disproves the idea that she may have choked.
Can you determine a cause of death?
It appears her heart just stopped. Unfortunately, I have no way of determining what caused that to happen.
Lucy, did Isabella have any history of heart disease? Was she taking any kind of medication?
No, she was totally healthy. The last time she saw a doctor was a while ago, but her checkup was fine. If she had any sort of medical issue, I would have known about it. We never picked up any medicine for this trip. She hates taking any kind of drugs at all.
Do you think we're something she ate? Should we be worried?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Most of all of us ate the same food. If there was something wrong with dinner, more than one of us would have been affected. And besides, other than some kind of fish, I can't think of anything that would just make your heart stop. We didn't eat anything like that. I mean, sometimes you can get food poisoning, and that can be very serious, but isn't instantaneous.
So let me get this straight. Isabella had no history of heart disease or any other illness of any kind. She didn't eat anything that may have gotten her sick, and she didn't hurt herself when the train stopped suddenly. Her heart just stopped.
Hold on. Are you saying what I think you're saying?
It seems so unlikely.
You don't really think.
Wait, what are you saying?
What I'm saying is this was not an accident. What I think I'm saying is Isabel Madison was murdered.
Elliot could hardly contain his shock and surprise. Murder on the 518? Improbable, but not impossible. The pastors each began to speculate as they tried to process this sudden revelation.
You really think that someone here could have killed her? All of us were right here together when it happened. Wouldn't we have seen something?
Rachel and I definitely did not plan to murder anyone on our honeymoon. Romantic trips do not include bodies in the dining room.
Hold on, my romantic friends. Actually, not everyone was all together at the time our movie star friend died.
Nelson is right. Derek and Jennifer ran off to the kitchen after the train stopped, and Owen followed the waiters out. How can we know what they were doing while they were gone?
Ellie is right. I did leave the room. I went to find out why the train had stopped. But think about it. When have I ever been close to Isabella to harm her, and would have been my motive to harm her anyway? Any investigator worth his salt will tell you a crime needs two things: opportunity and motive. I had neither one, but the people who were in the room the whole time had much more of an opportunity.
Jennifer and I went to the kitchen to make sure that the sun stopped and cause a fire or injure anyone. We're chefs, you know.
And what motive would we have? Isabella didn't do anything to us.
You didn't seem too happy earlier in the scene she made in which she declared you commoners.
Well, neither did you. That seems something like a professor would get pretty upset about.
Oh, please. Someone like myself commit murder over something as frivolous as a minor insult seems highly unlikely, don't you think? Especially since there are far stronger, more common people present.
Again with the insults. Somehow me being athletic makes me a murderer. You were the doc. Isabella wasn't injured. You say the doc is lying to us all?
Lauren is absolutely not lying. I was right there with her. Isabella wasn't hurt.
Don't you study fish? How would you even know if something was wrong? Besides, the doctor is the one who went from person to person right after the train stop. She had the most opportunity.
I don't appreciate your insinuation. I'm a healer. A crisis happened and I jumped in to help. While I have no desire to participate in this absurd debate, I feel the need to point out that you and your boss represent a pharmaceutical company, which would give you access to potentially life-threatening materials. Not to mention we all witnessed Isabella treat you both rudely the whole evening. Wouldn't that make you both prime suspects of foul play?
Absolutely not. Pharmacists take an oath too, you know. My goal is to never do any harm with my products, and I would never use my company's resources to intentionally hurt someone.
What about Elliot? A good murder could be just the inspiration he needs for a great story. After all, he's the one who said real life is the best story material.
I'm much too busy recording events to be a part of any. And from what I have gathered here, it would seem Lucy is the most likely suspect of any foul play.
That's crazy. Isabella was my best friend.
She may have been your best friend at one point, but she clearly treated you very poorly. Ordering you around, making unrealistic demands, making you clean up her messes, and you never leave her side. You had the best opportunity and the best motive.
She's right. Pressure like that can make people do crazy things. We all saw how badly Isabella treated you, and you still say she was one of your best friends? How can that make any sense?
Everybody just hold on. You're all forgetting one very important thing. So, Lucy has the most opportunity and motive, but she's not the only one. Lucy's not the only person who followed Isabella everywhere. Lucy's not the only person who depends on Isabella for her career. In fact, Lucy's career would be over if Isabella died, but Sydney's career would skyrocket. The amount of money he would make of getting exclusive photos of Isabella's death would take him straight to the top.
People! I didn't kill this woman!
You must admit, Sydney, Owen makes a compelling argument for your participation in this crime. Can you definitively prove that you were not involved?
Okay, I know I got a little excited at the mention of the word murder. But that doesn't mean that I did it. I got excited because this will further my careers. Wouldn't all of you? Most of you are on the train to Los Angeles for work.
I'm afraid I'm not convinced. I must confiscate your camera.
My camera? No way. Why?
You said you didn't do this, and I want to believe you, but innocent until proven guilty, right? So you've been taking pictures all night. You may have taken a picture that might show us the actual cause of Isabel's death.
Okay, but I'm going with you. I go where my camera goes.
I'd like to join you both while you look. If the cause of Isabella's death does turn out to be something we all came in contact with, I'd like to find out as soon as possible.
I can help too. You know, it's a lot like trying to help a sick animal. The animal can't tell you why it's sick, so you have to sleuth for the answer.
Sure it is.
You really think Sydney may have taken a picture with the murderer in it when all of us here didn't see anything?
No one's looking for a murder when the event actually happened. Now we have the opportunity to go through the night knowing what we're looking for. Sydney's obsession with Isabella might end up helping her after all.
Hey, don't you think we should do something with his body? I'm no expert, but I don't think we should leave it in the middle of the dining room until we get to Los Angeles tomorrow.
Fair point. If this was a murderer, I'd hate to disturb the crime scene, but we very well can just leave it here.
Can we all just stop calling Isabella it?
Lucy, maybe you should go back to your room and lie down.
I don't think that's a good idea, business lady friend. If there's a dangerous person among us, should we all separate from each other?
I have to agree with Nelson, especially since we do not yet know who the dangerous person is.
Well, you know what? I think this is all ridiculous. All I want is to get to Los Angeles and have a nice honeymoon. I have a very hard time believing that anyone here would have murdered anyone else. Lucy, how about you stay with us?
Are you sure? I mean, I don't really want to stay alone, but I don't want to intrude on your honeymoon.
We would love to have you join us, Lucy. Rachel was right. We don't even know that a murder happened here. Everybody needs to stop jumping to conclusions. Somebody died and that is awful. Do we have to make it more awful?
Yeah.
All right, listen here. For now, all we need is a plan. First, Isabella's body. Who has any ideas? Actually, I do. When Jennifer and I were in the kitchen, we took note that the train had a really large refrigerator. I think it might be used for longer trips than just a run. I bet we could use it for this, as long as everyone's okay with dry cereal for breakfast tomorrow. Okay, that's a start. Derek, you and Jennifer go to the kitchen and handle that. Next, has anyone had any luck getting through to the authorities yet? I'll take that as a no. Elliot and Nelson, go to the front of the train and find a conductor or engineer or someone and see if they successfully radioed Frau.
Elliot leapt into action, eager to gain more information for the benefit of the situation.
Come on, my writing friend. Maybe you shouldn't write while you walk.
Good. Now the rest of us are going to wait to do anything until they get back. Except for you people, if you want to look through pictures, knock yourselves out.
Owen, aren't you supposed to be given the directions? Aren't you the investigator?
Private investigators usually work behind the scenes. Once my brain starts working on a case, I tend to tune things out. Let's get started looking at these pictures. Sydney certainly captured the whole night on that camera.
Well, it appears someone likes to hear himself talk.
Oh, shut it. I didn't see you stepping up to take any action. Seems like something a smart person would do.
Being able to bark out orders does not automatically qualify you as intelligent. But you did get people moving in the right direction.
Speaking of moving in the right direction, it looks like we're moving again.
Good news. We hope they can evacuate the space in the cooler for Isabella's body. They're actually making most of the food now for our replacement dinner.
Here's the story, traveling friends. Our train operating friends have been in radio contact with the authorities. We are basically in the middle of nowhere right now. They want us to continue to our final destination of Los Angeles, where they will speak to us when we get there. We'll probably have to put off our arrival plans until we speak to our police friends.
Miss Millen, what if we missed your meeting? That's the whole point of us being here.
I'm sure the company will understand if we have to reschedule given the circumstances.
This whole thing is just insane. I'm going to try and contact them and figure this schedule out. Maybe we'll get cell reception now that the train is moving again.
Hey guys, help me move Isabella's body to the cooler. Lauren, come see if this will work for the rest of the trip.
I'll come too.
Of course you will.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Are you seriously still taking pictures? What is the matter with you? She's dead.
You bet I'm still taking pictures. Do you have any idea how much money I'm gonna make from these? Isabella may be dead, but she's still gonna make me rich.
Seriously, that's very inappropriate. And declare they're gonna capitalize on someone's murder definitely does not make you sound innocent. Besides, when we get to Los Angeles, the police are gonna confiscate your camera. It's evidence.
It's private property. They'll have to give it back eventually, and I'll still be the only one with the pictures.
Excuse me, everyone, but the kitchen staff is ready to serve the meal now. If you could all please vacate the dining room, we will get this mess cleaned up and serve dinner momentarily.
I'm sorry, but we better leave the dining room as it is. If Isabel's death was due to foul play, there may be evidence in the room that might help us identify what happened. Could we serve dinner somewhere else?
The lounge car is available, though there may not be enough table space. But as long as some people don't mind standing, it should be a fine place to serve.
Elliot was surprised at the physical strength of the task of moving a body. Even with the help of many, he required immediate sustenance.
What I think Elliot means to say is that was much harder than I expected. Jen, pass me my water.
Everything looks like it'll be fine in the kitchen. It's a good thing this is a short trip. This is definitely not a long-term storage solution.
Everyone, please, I know you're all probably hungry. If you could all please follow us, we will show you to the lounge car and serve you dinner. I'm just gonna eat in my room, I think. I've had enough excitement for one night.
That sounds good to me. Rachel, how about we eat with Lucy?
Actually, a quiet dinner in my room sounds appealing. Can we just make our plates and take them elsewhere?
Sounds good to me. What's our investigator think?
I suppose folks could eat in their rooms. Not like anybody's going anywhere.
Excuse me, sir. We'll be serving dinner elsewhere. Sir? Can you hear me? Sir? Sir? Sydney! Sydney, can you hear me?
Abby, it's no use. His heart stopped. He's dead.
All right, everyone, it's time we face the facts. We have 2 people dead from a sudden, unexplained heart failure. It's possible to believe that one death could have been a unique occurrence, but with 2, there's no denying it anymore. There's a murderer on this train, and we don't know how, we don't know who, and we don't know why. And if we don't figure this out soon, there may be more of us dead before we reach Los Angeles.
Elliot, what are you doing?
Writing, of course.
No, you're not. You're staring at me.
Your look is most captivating. You look despondent. Elliot sat across from the despondent young woman. She was quietly clinging to a small golden trinket in her hand. Elliot wondered at the significance of the small golden piece.
Isabella gave it to me. I didn't even realize I was playing with it.
The young woman was clearly deeply affected by the sudden loss of her close friend and employer.
Isabella wasn't just a close friend. She was my best friend. I don't know whether I'm angry or sad or frightened or what I'm feeling.
Despondent.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I really don't understand.
Hey, Jillian, I didn't see you come in. What do you mean?
How can you say Isabella was your best friend? She doesn't seem to care about you at all, or anyone for that matter.
It's hard to explain. I think sometimes success can do things to people. Isabella never cared about being famous. She just wanted to act. She was always the happiest when she was playing a part.
Are you saying she was pretending to be mean?
Isabella's agent was always telling her that no one pays attention to nice movie stars, and that if she really wanted to get somewhere, she had to make a scene wherever she went. And I know it looked like she was always so mean to me, but I know that wasn't really her. That crazy Isabella you guys all saw, that's just how she acted in public. Playing another part, I guess.
But didn't it bother you that she made herself the center of attention? Don't you feel like you deserve to get some of the credit?
I never wanted that. I like being behind the scenes. That's why we worked so well together, why we spent all of our time together for so long. See this necklace? Isabella bought us matching ones before this trip. She said it's because we did all of this together.
I really had no idea.
Most people don't, but she built her whole image on being the stereotypical crazy movie star. I always thought she could have just made it being herself. And maybe if she wasn't so awful to everyone, she'd still be alive. Anyways, you seem to spend a lot of time with Avery. You must see multiple sides of her personality, right?
I guess a little, but she's pretty much the same person all the time. I like things to be straightforward, you know? Hey, it's been a long day. You should really get something to eat. I think they're still serving dinner in the lounge car.
Thanks for listening. Most everyone else keeps trying to interrogate me because they think I murdered my best friend and the photographer who was chasing her. You're right, it has been a long day. I think I'll just skip dinner and go to bed. Good night.
Rachel, what's the matter?
Sweetheart, what's wrong? Why'd you run out of the lounge crying?
This isn't how our honeymoon was supposed to go. I wanted it to be perfect.
I know. I want it to be perfect too.
Now when we get to Los Angeles, we're gonna have to spend our time at a police station being accused of murder instead of sightseeing and celebrating our wedding. We didn't do anything wrong.
I know that, sweetheart. All I want is to be with you two. But we're all suspects. We have to let the police do their jobs.
Circumstances got you down. Honeymoon friends.
Yes, this honeymoon is turning out to be a disaster.
Come on now. It isn't all that bad.
Are you serious? 2 people have been murdered and you say it's not all that bad?
Well, it wasn't either of you who got murdered, right? And even though you have to change your arrival plans a little when you get there, you'll be spending your romantic time together soon enough. And think of the story you'll have to tell your friends when you get back home.
Nelson has the right idea, guys. This will all be over before you know it. For us, at least, who don't know either of the victims.
I suppose you're right, Nelson. I think we're losing sight on why we planned this trip in the first place.
Yeah, thanks, Nelson. This whole thing is just making me a little crazy, I think.
How is it that you keep so calm and positive, Nelson? Aren't your plans for Los Angeles going to be messed up too? Didn't you say you have a meeting about your music?
Well, truth be told, friends, I never had a meeting. I sent out hundreds of copies of my songs, but I didn't hear back from any of the record labels where I sent them. I decided to go to Los Angeles to try to make it on my own. And if I stop being positive, how will I have the courage to make it?
Wow, Nelson, I don't think I would be able to just dive into something like that. I bet someone will decide to give you a chance.
Yeah, you're so determined. I'll bet you your music is great. Want to share something with us?
I would love to, friends. I started writing some new songs during this eventful journey of ours. I think I left my notes over at my table during all the confusion. Come take a look.
Jillian, there you are. Have you seen Owen? I need to speak with him.
Sorry, business lady friend. Haven't seen him in a while. Anything we can do for you?
Yeah, you don't look so good. Is everything okay?
I'm fine. I just lost something. That's all. What are all of you doing in here?
Nelson was just about to play some of his music for us.
You're sitting around at a table playing music where someone was just murdered. Are you at all bothered by what's going on?
You seem upset, Miss Millen. Can I help? What's missing?
I'm fine. If you see Owen, please send him in my direction.
Of course, Miss Millen.
Would you stop it? You can't just come barging in here and destroy the evidence. Well, never mind. Clearly, no one seems to care that 2 people died in this location and that nothing should be disturbed until it's processed by the authorities. Where is that private investigator anyway? Shouldn't he be handling this?
I never said I was going to touch anything. I just left my wallet at the table. I don't think I'm going to get my wallet. It will disturb the evidence. Do you? Why do you follow me in here anyway? Don't trust me? Think I have something to hide?
Well, people eager to remove things from crime scenes seems somewhat suspicious, don't you think? And if you must know, I brought my reading glasses with me to dinner and left them on the table during all this confusion.
So it's not okay for me to come get my wallet, but it's perfectly fine for you to come get your glasses? Why is that? Seems pretty suspicious to me.
Because I will barrel through the room and destroy everything in sight.
I'll barrel anywhere!
Will you two stop it? You evade each other's throats all night. We have much larger problems than whatever it is you two are arguing about.
Really, you two should take a page out of Nelson's book and get some positivity.
It's not exactly what I meant.
So true, friend.
We all just focus on the problem.
Come on, guys, let's go be calm and positive elsewhere.
For the last time, get out of my kitchen!
We are chefs, not murderers. We had nothing to do with these deaths.
I'm not accusing you of murder. I'm just worried about the safety of the passengers. We have to get to the bottom of this.
And is it very safe for the other passengers that we store bodies in our cooler?
We cleared out the coolers before we put the bodies in it. There's no danger to the passengers there.
Hey, Jillian, did you come to help us sleuth for clues?
No, actually I lost my cell phone. I came to see if I dropped it back here during all the commotion with Sydney. Did you put his body in the cooler too?
Unfortunately, they did.
It's completely unacceptable.
Listen, for the last time.
No,
you
give it.
Hey, cut it out!
Look, here are 2 more people to invade our kitchen.
Actually, we're not here to invade your kitchen. We just came to tell you how much we enjoyed the dinner we just had.
What are you guys doing in here?
We were sleuthing for clues in the kitchen.
Sort of. I'm convinced his death had something to do with what the victims ate.
Owen, I really need to speak with you.
We already told you. There are virtually no foods that would cause this to happen. You searched the kitchen. Did you find any dangerous food?
We all ate the same things. Take from the people who work in a kitchen. When you serve at an event like this, where everyone eats the same food, you have no idea which plate is going to end up on which table.
And do you really think the kitchen staff would decide to put dangerous food on just 2 plates? And even if they did...
Hey!
I'm not saying that you did, but really, what are the chances that those 2 plates would not end up in front of the intended people?
Fair point. But what about the wait staff, though? They served each person individually. And they were in the room with us the whole time before the meal was served. Plenty of time to see where each person was sitting.
We've been in and out of the kitchen a dozen times by now. The trays get handed right to the waitstaff, and they walk out the door. When would they have the time to sabotage the food?
When Isabella and Sydney at different tables, did 2 separate waiters decide to commit murder?
Okay, I get it. Food theory doesn't quite add up.
If you're quite satisfied, we'll be returning to the kitchen without all of you.
Something's missing. What's missing?
Owen, I really need to speak with you.
I know what's missing.
What are you talking about?
Owen said something's missing. I know what it is.
You do?
No need to sound so surprised.
I didn't mean it like that.
Okay, enough. Mike, what are we missing?
Seems to me that you all are getting too caught up on the how and not the why. People died. We've got that. It happened in the dining car. We've got that too. So now you've spent the whole night chasing around a crazy food theory that hasn't gotten you anywhere. You can only try to make a layup so many times without a score, or you have to switch plays and go for an outside 3-point shot. So back up, reassess, and try another approach to the problem.
Elliot!
You think Elliot's the one who killed them?
No, Elliot can tell us what's missing.
I don't follow you.
You know, he's always writing down everything he sees. He was taking notes the whole entire time we were here for dinner. He's sitting there taking notes right now. I bet he can help us remember what everyone was doing.
Abby, that's a great idea.
Hey, I bet if you put Elliot's writing with Sydney's camera, you can paint a practically perfect picture of everything that was going on all night. Hey, where's Sydney's camera anyways?
I saw it at the table when we moved his body. Hey, the camera isn't here.
What? Well, where did it go?
So many people have been in and out of this room all night that anyone could have easily picked it up and no one would be the wiser.
Maybe Elliot can help us with that too. What do you say, Elliot?
Elliot was displeased to have his writing disrupted. However, he recognized the importance his notes had in solving the mysterious murders that occurred, especially in light of the disappearance of the photographer's camera, which created a large gap in the quest for visual evidence.
I believe that was a yes.
Jen, let's go see if we can find that camera.
No, all of us staying right here until we figure this thing out. But I know not everyone's here right now. But Mike was on to something before. Everyone in this room right now has been trying like crazy to figure out what happened here tonight. Either all of us are the best actors ever, or we're the ones that generally don't have anything to hide. Either way, let's go back to Elliot's notes and try to focus on the people who hadn't been trying to solve the crime.
Owen, I really need to speak with you. Privately, now.
What's up, Avery? You don't look so good.
Avery, I don't mean to intrude, but if you're feeling sick at all, we really
I'm
need
fine. Actually, Lauren, good thing you're here too. So you both know that I'm heading to Los Angeles with samples for a presentation, right?
Right.
Well, when the train stopped suddenly, when there was that rock slide in the tracks, I decided to check on my case to make sure everything was okay. It all seemed to be fine. But I went back to my cabin after dinner, I checked on the case again, and I saw that one of the vials was missing.
What?
Avery, this isn't good. What does it contain?
Well, that's the worrisome part. It's a new medication that my company is developing to help patients who are at risk for heart failure. It has not been widely tested yet.
So let me get this straight. You're missing a vial of untested heart medication on a train where 2 people have been found dead due to heart failure?
Oh my goodness!
What is it?
Avery's missing medicine that causes heart failure.
What? When are you going to decide to share this with the rest of us?
This new development is most exciting.
Oh wait, your whole let's focus on other people theory is crazy. This woman clearly had the means to commit this murder, and she had the opportunity. We should have kept the focus on her the entire time. And she was sitting at the same table as Isabel, who was rude to her.
Do you genuinely think she would have brought this to our attention if she was the one who committed the crime?
Maybe that's her plan, to make us think she's innocent.
But, Derek, from what I'm reading here, Avery was nowhere near Sydney at any point in the evening. And I think it's somewhat far-fetched to believe there are 2 separate murderers on this train.
Derek, come back.
Let's give those 2 a minute. Avery, tell us more about this medication. It's safe to assume that this is the best lead we have so far for a cause of death.
Well, like I said before, its primary function is to help patients who are at risk for heart failure. For someone who is sick, too little would be ineffective, but too much could be very dangerous.
And what would happen if someone without a heart problem took it?
It'd be safe to presume the same would hold true for a healthy person. A little amount would go unnoticed, but a large dose could cause some serious heart problems.
What characteristics does this medication have? Would people realize they were taking it, or could it be hidden somehow?
Actually, that's where my company has been focusing on research. All the medications I'm taking in my presentation are in liquid form with no colorings or added flavors. We're trying to develop a new line of medication to help patients who struggle with taking traditional medications.
That sounds like a great idea. I bet it would be useful for animals too.
Focus.
Okay, so if your claim wasn't you, who else had access to your case?
That's the thing. I'm the only one with the key, and I still have that right here. The only times all evening that the case were open were right after the rock slide and just now in my cabin.
Sorry about before, everyone. I'm just a little bit on edge. I thought we could all use some water. Anyone?
Sure, thanks, Cass.
Elliot was parched from excitement and welcomed some refreshment.
Sounds good to me.
Don't drink that!
What? Why? What's the matter?
The water glasses. That has to be what happened.
If the medicine is a liquid, it would be very easy to add to a beverage.
Elliot took amazing notes. And right before both deaths occurred, many of us were sipping water.
What about when Sydney died? I don't remember drinking anything then.
It's not quite as clear, but remember, those who had helped move Isabella's body came back into the dining room and had water.
Well, good catch. So now we just need to figure out who got a hold of the medicine. It was close enough to both people to put it in their water.
We still need to find Sydney's camera too.
I bet if we continue to look through these notes, and if we can find Sydney's camera, we'll find who had the opportunity.
We might not need that notebook.
I think you're right.
Attention passengers, we will be arriving in Los Angeles in approximately 10 minutes. Please be prepared to leave all your luggage on board while the authorities get the chance to survey the scene and speak to everyone individually. Thank you.
Do you both have an idea of what happened?
Tell us!
All right, everyone. We have 10 minutes before we get to Los Angeles. Let's grab that notebook and let's get to work. Now that we know exactly what we're looking for, we catch the murderer by surprise. Only if we all work together. Are you all in?
Go team! Yeah!
folks, back it up. Give us some space. We're conducting an investigation here. This platform is now closed. Back it up!
All right, folks, please just follow us. Head right over there and we can begin taking statements. Please leave all belongings on the train until we conduct an adequate search.
Right this way, folks. We'll try to do this as quickly as possible. Please stay together.
Sir, your guitar, Madam, your book, you with the bag there. Please, folks, all belongings stay on the train.
While wanting to follow the officer's wishes, Elliot was dismayed at the prospect of being separated from his writing supplies during what seemed to be a very promising series of events. He also failed to comprehend how a guitar in a marine studies book could pertain to the details of this particular investigation.
What? He doesn't like to be separated from his notepad. I can put my book back on the train, though. Nelson, I can take your guitar for you, too. Avery, I can take your case.
That won't be necessary, Abby. I'll be handing all my samples over to the police.
Miss Millen, you're handing all your samples to the police? Don't you think you should keep them with you?
You heard the officers. Everything on the train is evidence. I wouldn't want to complicate their investigation by leaving the case of dangerous samples that they couldn't open. Pharmaceutical samples and the key to the case.
Thank you.
Hello, officers. Let me introduce myself. My name is Owen Casey, and I'm a private investigator. I want to deliver this evidence straight to you along with this silver case. In the bag contains the camera from our resident writer, Elliot Williams, which I'll think you find very helpful when reconstructing the activities on the train during the journey. In the bag also contains the camera of Sidney Bennett, the deceased paparazzo, who was constantly taking pictures until he died.
You found the camera?
That's awesome. Where was it?
I did not even know a photographer friend's camera was missing.
Wow, that's a stroke of luck for us. This guy might actually help solve his own murder.
You say this camera was missing? Where'd you find it?
Actually, Sydney's camera was never missing. The camera I brought along to record my upcoming lecture looked very much like Sydney's. Mine's still missing, but this one was under his dinner table the whole time.
And I took the opportunity to go through the camera, and Sydney took a picture as clear as day of Isabel's murderer poisoning her water glass.
Oh my gosh, he did? Wait, poison? But who? Why didn't he say anything?
Do you still think he was trying to make more money?
I knew it wasn't the food.
A photograph of the poisoning?
And let me guess, this case here contains the poison.
It didn't take long for us to figure out that Isabel's death was no accident. Everyone else was fine. At first, we thought she might have hurt herself when the train stopped suddenly, but the doctor here confirmed that that was not the case.
That's true. I checked on everyone right after the train stopped and no one was injured.
Who was it? Who poisoned Isabella?
At first, we assumed that it was Sidney that did it. He had most to gain by selling pictures of Isabel's death. Of course, he denied it, and he said we can look through his camera to see if we can find any helpful photos. And he's the other person who's deceased.
That's when we realized Sidney couldn't have been the murderer. After Sidney died, we knew we had to look at other potential suspects.
Avery, you weren't even with the people who were trying to figure out who killed Isabel and Sydney. Derek, Jennifer, Lauren, and Abby all went with Owen to look for clues. How did you end up figuring it out?
I realized I was carrying a whole case worth of potential danger. After the rock slide, I decided to check on my case to make sure everything was okay. It all seemed to be fine. When I went back to my cabin after dinner, I saw that one of the vials was missing.
Y'all are missing dangerous medicine? We have to find it. You guys could be in danger.
Your medicine poisoned Isabella? It was you. It must have been you. No one else had access to your case. Plus, you were sitting at the same table as Isabella for dinner. And you just said, in front of everyone, that you opened the case right before she died. I can't believe that you tried to make me feel better after you killed her.
Lucy, listen. I thought the same thing at first as well, but when we went back through Elliot's notes, we realized that Avery was nowhere near Sidney at any point. She couldn't have killed him, and she did not kill Isabella.
But there was one other person who sat near you and Isabel. One other person who handled the open case of medicine. And the only person who was near both Isabel and Sidney right before their deaths.
Jillian!
Going somewhere? You're gonna have to be quicker than that.
Fine, you figured it out. It was me.
Oh, I don't believe this. Jillian, how could you?
Lucy, I didn't mean to kill her. Honest, I didn't.
But you did kill her! And Sidney! Why?
I was so angry at the way Isabella treated us at the train station when we were buying our tickets. And again at dinner. She was so rude to everyone. I mean, what did she think gave her the right to talk down to us? To all of us. Fame does not give people the right to act that way.
That's why you killed her? Because of her insults?
No! All I wanted to do was embarrass her. When I realized Sidney was on board and taking pictures to sell, I thought, what would bring Isabella down a notch? She was so worried about looking her best and and being better than everyone else that I figured a bunch of pictures of her getting sick all over the train right before her big movie premiere would be just the thing to mess with her perfect Hollywood image.
So you poisoned her to make her sick?
When Avery opened the case after the train stopped, I slipped out the vial that was closest to me before we shut the case again. During all the commotion, I poured some in her water glass. That way she would get sick, and Cindy could sell her embarrassing pictures. But I never meant for her to die. I had no idea that what I put in her water would kill her.
Jillian, I can't believe this. How many times have we told you that we work with dangerous items? What were you thinking?
Why kill Sydney, though? He was going to sell the embarrassing pictures of Isabella, just like you had planned.
When Cindy started saying how he was going to sell all his pictures of Isabella and make all this money from it, I realized it didn't matter what happened to Isabella. She was still going to be famous, and Cindy was going to get rich from her fame.
So you killed him?
When Owen and Cindy decided to go through his pictures to look for a picture of the murderer, I knew I had to get his camera. He never stopped taking pictures. I was sure he had a picture of me poisoning Isabella's water. And I knew I would never get it from him willingly. He hardly ever put the camera down. I still had the rest of the vial in my pocket, so as soon as I saw my opportunity, I poured the rest of the vial in his water.
You knew it was going to kill him, and you did it anyways.
And for nothing, I snuck back to get his camera as soon as I could and hid it in my coat pocket. Only now I find out that I have someone else's camera. I didn't even see anyone else with the camera.
That's because no one else had one.
Oh, no wonder y'all kept calling this empty water glass a camera. I'm glad I just went along with it.
Avery and I figured out it was Jillian who had access to the case of pharmaceuticals, which meant that she must be the murderer. And Holly went back through Elliot's notes and realized that Jillian must have Sydney's camera. Of course we knew she wouldn't give up the evidence unless we tricked her into it.
I decided that if we pretended we had the camera, it might make Jillian nervous enough to confess, and I was right.
So I did have the camera all along, and you all didn't actually have a picture of me poisoning anyone.
Now that you've confessed in front of all of us, it doesn't really matter if we have a picture or not.
You're under arrest. Let's go.
Well, folks, I still need to ask y'all to come down to the station so we hear official statements. But now with the murderer and a confession, we should be able to get you on your way soon enough. If you all follow me, I have cars waiting to take you downtown.
Nice work, everyone. Abby, brilliant idea with the camera bluff.
Abby, I know I didn't want to work on this trip, but obviously this trip had other plans. You were a great asset throughout all the chaos. You're very bright, and I'm sure you make a superb vet tech.
That means so much. I learned so much from you about keeping cool under pressure. You know, in an animal emergency, I am very good under pressure.
I do hate to admit it, but you had some very effective insight throughout this investigation.
That'll teach you to judge a book by its cover. Hey, Professor?
I never did hear. What is your college degree in, Mike?
Criminal justice.
Well, this was all very surprising.
I'll say, what a way to start off our honeymoon.
Jennifer, you and Derek worked so well together to help solve this crazy case.
I guess we did. You know, we work so much better when we aren't fighting.
You're right. We need to find a way to keep ourselves on track, listen to each other, and work together on the pressure, instead of working against each other.
If I may, cooking friends, I happen to know a fabulous musician who is looking for work and is very good at keeping people calm and relaxed.
Come on, Nelson. Let's have terms in the car.
Hey, Lucy.
Hi, Avery.
You coming?
Yes, I just can't believe this. I'm sorry I thought you were a murderer.
I can't help but feel this is all my fault. I should have been more careful about who I trusted to be my assistant and handle the samples.
You couldn't have known what Jillian would do. I don't think anyone would have guessed it. I know I didn't.
You know, I'm in need of a new assistant. Someone who has good organizational skills, a good mind for business, someone who's good at following directions, someone who might be in need of employment.
Me? You want me to be your assistant?
I know you're going to have a lot on your plate in the near future handling Isabella's affairs. But once everything's settled down, give me a call. Salt Lake City's a great place to live.
I will. Elliot, come on.
Elliot realized that he was the last train passenger remaining on the platform. Before joining the others, he reflected on the bizarre series of events that befell him and his fellow passengers on the West Coast 518. After this trip, it was unlikely that any of their lives would truly be the same. Friendships torn apart, new relationships forged, old relationships made stronger, and new opportunities presented. What an amazing story this would make.